And the Ministry of Health and Social Development is maintaining its appeal for everyone to join in the fight to reduce the impact of chikungunya and dengue fever as suspected cases continue to rise. Both dengue and chikungunya viruses are transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito that breeds in stagnant water in and around homes. Environmental Health Division continues to lead in efforts in vector control by carrying out fogging and making field visits to educate the community about eradicating mosquito breeding sites. Government has also increased its public awareness efforts to ensure that the key messages are reaching the public through television programs, which can be seen right here on JTV Channel 55. The team also went on site visits with the Environmental Health Division as they continue to sensitize the public about ways to minimize mosquito breeding.
For the breeding taking place in the homes, we want our residents to look at the roof guttering to ensure that it's not clogged. We want them to take a look at the cisterns to ensure that the manhole covers are fitted properly, that the overflow pipes are netted, covered over. We want them to take a look at any potted plants that might have been overly watered, with the saucers under them full of water. These need to be emptied out. When we take a look at the flower vases that are probably on the inside, in the living room, if the plants are not in dirt, we encourage people to plant. If they must keep their flowers in water, that they use ornamental stones and have the water under the stone so the mosquitoes cannot get to the water. A lot of people have cut plants. I encountered a number of premises in the last hour or so where people have cut plants. They're catching whatever plants, and they have the plants in a big bucket with a lot of water, and even though they're not breeding, the likelihood of breeding is very, very good. We want people again to use gravel and just have the water under the gravel with the cut plants so that they do not breed. We want people to take a look at the septic tanks as well. The uncovered septic tanks where the manhole covers are broken or off, to have them properly fitted, properly seated, on the manhole itself. And we want to ensure that the entire septic tank is sealed, that there are no openings or vent pipes to allow the mosquitoes to enter and exit, because the dengue and chikungunya mosquito will breed in those tanks, especially if they cannot find more suitable breeding grounds in the area. We want them to take a look at their rotoplastic tanks or their drums and the barrels that they keep, for whatever purposes, watering the yard or maybe for any household uses, to have those containers covered, with sackcloth or crocus or plastic, and have them tied down. Because they're not using the water all the time, so you uncover those containers. When you need the water, you cover them back. And things will happen and they will get uncovered, but we are encouraging people to at least spend a few minutes once a week to just take a look around, because given the cycle of the mosquito from egg to adult, if you do that once a week, you will catch the mosquito breeding and you will take care of the mosquito breeding.
According to Dr. Lisa Indar of the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARFA, the Caribbean is seeing an increase in chikungunya cases because the virus is new to the region. And Medical Officer Dr. Ronald Georges, while speaking about the increase in the number of suspected cases, stressed that it is essential that everyone contribute to the prevention of the spread of chikungunya. According to Dr. Georges, the disease is preventable with the proper interventions.
Fogging only kills adult mosquitoes. We have to understand that there are other phases during the life cycle of the mosquito where the mosquito is actually more vulnerable, particularly after the eggs are being laid by the female. There are the larvae or regulars which exist in small containers around our houses. That is actually the most vulnerable stage of the mosquito. So for us to break the chain of transmission for chikungunya and dengue viruses in the Virgin Islands, we have to break the breeding cycles of the mosquitoes. We have a number of areas in Tortola which are now active for chikungunya and dengue, where there's a lot of breeding, and we at this stage need the support of the community to help the Environmental Health Division do the work that they need to do and curb mosquito breeding around premises and reduce the impact of chikungunya and dengue virus in the territory.
Dr. Georges further stated that parents should protect their children from mosquito bites because severe cases of the chikungunya can occur in very young children.